Hey everybody, Rental Robert, Hustle Nation. We're all about doing better and gaining financial freedom through different side hustles, real estate, whatever it is that floats your boat and everything. As long as you're doing it, that's what counts. Yesterday my life kind of turned a corner, and I'll share with you what happened. There's a lot of times that when you're on this quest of trying to do better, be more successful, grow more, become richer, you kind of get stuck or set in a way of doing things that is not going to allow you to get off of that course. And we find ourselves in situations where things keep coming up and they don't quite make sense, but we continue to do them because that's really what we've always done. And of course, that old saying of, if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you always got. There's so much truth to that. Well, something to catapult on top of that concerning is this. A gentleman came to me with a deal on a house. I looked at it. It wasn't the best numbers in the world, but I could have gotten into it with very little money out of my pocket. And it would have made progress. The catch to it, though, was it's the type of house that I want to kind of move away from. The other thing is that, and in my opinion, it needed about 10 grand put into it. Okay, it's got a carport that looks like it's ready to fall. It's got a bad leak in the roof where they've just patched it, and instead of replacing the roof joist, they put some pieces beside it. It's got what we call a gravel roof, where they build it up with hot tar and then throw gravel on top of it. It's got one kind of shingles on the front of the house, different kind of shingles on the back side of the house. So, that's not very appealing to me. And the whole reason that I'm saying all of this is that, when you have a piece of property, you got to have an exit strategy with it just in case, okay? And the thing is that you can run these houses and basically run them into the ground, just patch them to where, you can keep on going with them and everything. The problem with that is that if you ever have to sell it, you can't ever get anywhere close to what it's worth. Because generally speaking, like if you go to sell a house today and it needs a $15,000 roof put on it, unless absolutely you find the right buyer that's got to have that house, you're going to have to discount it $50,000 to be able to get it to sell, because most people don't want to come out of their pocket $15,000 to pay for a roof. Okay, and I assure you of this, because there ain't nothing fun about a roof. It ain't hot. It don't look good in thigh-high boots or a short skirt. You can't rev it up. You can't take it out. You can't cast it out and reel in a big fish. You can't, shoot a buck with a roof. You can't do anything fun with a roof, okay? They're a necessary evil, and they're extremely expensive, okay? And I have seen repairs that were a couple $100 to start with, and people put them off, and then that repair became thousands and thousands of dollars because they didn't want to spend the money on the roof. The roof protects everything below it. So your whole house is protected by the roof, okay? Now, my goal is to keep accumulating properties to get to the point where I've got $50,000 a month coming in from rent or whatever side hustles, but that's the goal. That's the number right there, is $50,000 a month, okay? Well, the thing about it is, this would have helped somewhat get to that, okay? But the thing is that the rate on it was 6%, 1,000 down, 45,000 sale price, and a 20-year note. Well, the payment's right about $320. Property taxes are going to be about $125 a month, and then insurance is going to run about $150 a month. Okay, so now we're right up to about $630, $650 a month. Okay, going out. Coming in is $150 a month. All right. It would be a very short amount of time, in my opinion, before I would have to replace that roof. The back steps were in bad shape. They need to be rebuilt. But like I said, you know, this thing was going to cost a lot of money to come off of, in my opinion, for a property that I wanted right off the bat. I say all of this to you in the sense that it's great to be moving towards the end game goal, but just be careful that you don't bite off more than you can chew, because that property does not fit my criteria for cash flow. Okay, that property needs to be fully self-supporting and then have money left over. Okay, every one of my properties, I put at least $100 each month for what we call capital expenses. Okay, and the reason that I say all of this is that, you know, I hear people buy rental properties and then it's like, well, after I pay everything, I got $75 left over. And I'm like, in the course of 15 to 20 years, you're going to buy a roof and a new heat and AC system. Okay, that particular property did have a central heat and air, so at some point that's a $5,000 to $7,000 repair. You're going to have to replace both units, indoor and outdoor. Okay, and then put in another roof on there. So within probably the next 5 to 7 years, you know, it was going to be a, you know, 10 to 12, maybe 10 to $15,000 repair that was going to have to occur. Okay, at $100 a month, how much do you think is going to be in there? 1,200 times 7, that's $8,400. So we're at a negative cash flow right there. And in that neighborhood, properties don't appreciate more than about 2.5% a year. Okay, and unfortunately, everything else around it looked like a shithole. And so it's not like, you know, you're going to have a few years where the prices just go astronomically up. The other thing with your lower priced properties is it's extremely difficult to get financing on them. And so you have to wrap up a bunch of them together to do a portfolio loan, or you have to find somebody with private money or make it a cash sale to where somebody will just buy it outright. Thing is that when you're selling something, unless you make it a fire sale, it's very difficult to sell to somebody when they're going to have to put money in it and you're trying to get top dollar. People don't want to pay top dollar when they're going to have to put money into it. So the thing about it is that we have to change the way we do business for us to be able to turn a corner and start heading in a different direction. What I want to do is upgrade the properties that I have in my portfolio so that things are easier in life, and I'll probably experience a little bit better on the back end because the appreciation of better neighborhoods, better properties will go up. It's Rental Robert with the No Pay, we were part of No Pay, No Stay Network. We are the Hustle Nation. Be profitable, be productive.